Yeah, I'm going to go with Josh Downs as my first buy. Obviously, I think the major reason why maybe there might be a little bit less targets than we've had in years past is Tyler Warren. And I think that's the real true reason why maybe there's a little bit of pause with this buy. But I still think this is a super talented player. You know, he's young as anybody, 24 years old. But when I'm in a dynasty league and I'm looking for potential players to buy, I want players that are going to be young assets, undervalued assets that I think I can end up plugging into my starting lineup. I was looking across at some of those websites, some of the names floating around him in those rankings: Wan'Dale Robinson, Troy Franklin, Keenan Allen, or a mid-2026 second. I think I'd be comfortable sending any of those for Josh Downs in the right situation.
Torrey Horton, wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks. Well, this week he had a little bit of a coming out party. For a player like this that was borderline free in rookie drafts, I mean, he was going fourth, fifth round, sometimes undrafted, depending on the league. That's a pretty big come up from what we expected. Is this something that you see continuing?
I think this is sustainable. This guy was a punt returner at like 6'2", and he moved. He's one of those people that's like Giannis is what I would describe, where he's long and lanky, but he moves like a little slot receiver, especially in Dynasty. He was one I was telling folks, hey, get him as a throw-in. So I'm all wheels up for Torrey Horton.
There's not a lot of stuff that I have seen from Caleb Johnson, running back of the Pittsburgh Steelers, to feel good about him. But it feels like he's being left for dead right now by the Dynasty community. I'll give you a late third for him if you just want to get out. Like, that's kind of like the vibe that I feel like people are with Caleb Johnson right now. But I'm like, this was my running back 6 in the class. I'm looking at the analytic profile. He has the size, the weight, the breakout age. He was an early declare as a true junior. And it's not too long ago that we were talking about this guy as a fringe first round pick. People are trading Ollie Gordon for Caleb Johnson right now. People are trading Dylan Sampson for Caleb Johnson. And this is scary. It's risky. Like I said, this is the one I feel the least comfortable about because there has been so much bad press. But I just want to buy young players that I believe have the mold here to be successful.
We are here on a Friday morning with the live content to make sure you know who to start, who to sit, who to trade for, all of that good stuff. We're here, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Andrew, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. It's Ryder Cup season. I've been watching a little bit of golf this morning. I don't know if you guys are into that at all, but I've been watching it. It's like golf Olympics, man. It's USA versus Europe.
Yeah, it is pretty fantastic. Every year that they do it, I think that's an every year thing, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say every year I'm always like, I need to watch more Ryder Cup, and then I just get so caught up with all the NFL stuff that it's hard to find the time. But no, I root for Bryson, and but then you got Rory on the other side, and it's
Europe's kind of kicking our butt this morning, so USA's not up in any of their pairings so far.
Not great, Bob. Not great. Pete, how you doing, homie?
I am electric right now, man. I woke up super early, fed my sourdough starter, made some brownies for a friend that just got out of surgery. So I'm going to take them to him after this. Mariners won their division for the first time in 25 years.
Yeah.
24, 25. I was 5 years old.
Wow.
Last time that happened. So
that's crazy.
I am electric today.
You sound like Ricky Bobby, wake up in the morning and have piss excellence.
Except it's sourdough starter.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, because obviously we got other things to get to. Like sourdough, explain it to me, because isn't this like a live organism that becomes food and bread?
Yeah, if you wanted to know, probably just ask your wife. She probably knows about it.
She does not. My wife hates.
She does not.
Cooking. She does not enjoy cooking.
Okay, so what? Yeah, it's living, but the perk, and you have to feed it.
That's
Literally,
so
but the perk is one slice of sourdough bread is like 12 grams of protein.
Dang.
So you get 24 grams out of a sandwich just with the bread.
Just
Pretty
it's
good,
just
and it's
crazy to me.
delicious.
I mean, sourdough is good. I do like sourdough, but like living bread is a weird concept to me.
It shouldn't be to you, Garrett.
It is. It is a weird concept. I do love bread. Don't get me wrong. I love bread.
Hey,
but-
I made some donuts recently out of sourdough. Delicious. Bagels,
Really?
delicious. Yep.
Can't miss. Can't miss. All right. Well, let's get into the content that you're here for. We've got our start sits. We'll answer some trade questions. All kinds of fun stuff going on this morning. What do we got first, Pete?
I love how Connor asks this question because it's not like start 2, it's sit 1. It's a very pessimistic way of asking. But
I honestly think they're my favorites. When people ask it's not, don't start these players, just sit one of these guys. Tell me the worst one of the group.
Yeah. Tight end premium, Goddard, Njoku, or Jordan Addison.
How do you feel, Andrew? First week back for Jordan Addison. Obviously, Carson Wentz at quarterback. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. To me right now, might be a good thing. But do you feel comfortable starting him if you needed him?
Yep. Yeah, I'd be plugging him in as a top 36 option. I think wide receiver 3, a flex play for your leagues. I'm okay playing him there. So I'd play Addison and Njoku. Goddard would be the guy that I sit.
Yep, that's who I have as well. I'd be sitting him this week. Not the biggest Goddard guy. Yes, he has some weeks here and there, but for the most part, it's a little bit hit and miss. Both games, I think, could be decently high scoring, but I'm going to stick with David Njoku and Jordan Addison as my starters. So I'm sitting.
I kind of feel like Njoku and Addison, they can be relevant in your lineup without scoring a touchdown. Goddard needs a touchdown for him to feel pretty good in your lineup.
I think that's fair. All right, what we got next?
Okay. Chief Keith asks, if Justin Fields is out, should I play Trevor Lawrence or flex Calvin Austin or Josh Downs?
T-Law. T-Law for me. I'm not even playing with those guys in the super flex spot.
Yeah, nope, totally agree. It's Trevor Lawrence. I'm all for starting a non-quarterback in the super flex spot, but it's when we're talking about like, hey, could I trust Javonte Williams maybe over a Trevor Lawrence, or can I trust to throw Tyler Warren in, or somebody like that where I just have a really good team. And I'm missing my starting quarterback, but I'm not looking to start wide receiver 5s in my super flex spot. So I have, honestly, basically any starting quarterback. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Destroyer asks, got a guy in my league desperate for a quarterback. Very good spot to be in if you have a quarterback. You trying to trade away Herbert and Ward or Dart for Daniels and JJ? I'm in a full rebuild with Herbert and JSN as my cornerstone pieces.
Okay, so Jaden Daniels and JJ McCarthy. I'm assuming that's what he's saying.
That's what I'm taking it as.
Okay,
and then
all right,
Herbert and Cam Ward or Jackson Dart.
I mean, yeah, I would probably be willing to do that. Obviously, I like Herbert. I do. I think Herbert's a very good starting quarterback, but Jaden Daniels is one of the best options in the league right now at the super flex spot. So it comes down to that, and then how do you trust Ward or Dart? At this point, I don't know that you can trust either one of them any more than you trust JJ McCarthy. So for me, it is these options are pretty even. Daniels is an upgrade over Herbert, so I would do that.
Yeah, I am kind of viewing it the same way. I would have Daniels over Herbert in my rankings, so you get the upgrade there. And then I would have JJ McCarthy in the same range as Cam Ward. I would have him above Cam Ward, but they're in the same tier for me. So that's kind of just how I would be looking at these guys right now. So I think if you make that move in my rankings, you'd be upgrading both quarterback positions.
There you go. So yeah,
awesome.
done.
Okay, Connor, Stafford versus Indianapolis or Dak versus Green Bay?
Ooh, I actually, I think let me double check my rankings on this one because I may have put Stafford ahead. It's really close.
I have
but
Stafford higher.
I do as well. I have Stafford 2 spots higher. Yeah, I would go Stafford. That Green Bay defense does look very, very legitimate. And right now, especially, it sounds like Dallas might be down another offensive lineman as well. So that's not what you want to hear when going up against Green Bay right now. And I have a feeling Micah Parsons' hair is going to be on fire. Like this dude is going to be
feed into the narrative.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So at this point, do I think Dak still has maybe the slightly higher ceiling? Probably. But here I could see this being dang, Dak only got us 4 points. Like, yeah, it could be one of those kind of games. So go ahead and give me Stafford for like the steady, safe double-digit points.
And our projections agree with you as well.
Would you look at that?
Dak or Bryce Young?
Man. I know Bryce Young had a good week last week. I still do not trust it. New England is getting Christian Gonzalez back as well, who they're going up against. So, and Tet's been banged up. So I will still take Dak Prescott there. But man, I'm really hoping I have anybody else to throw in.
Yeah, I have Dak quite higher than Bryce Young in my rankings. I have Bryce Young as QB 27 this week, and Dak is my QB 19. So that's a pretty good gap between the two.
There we go.
Awesome. Alex, Javonte Williams versus Green Bay or Devonta Smith versus Tampa Bay?
This one's tough for me.
This was tough for you?
This was tough for me.
This was kind of easy for me.
I'm guessing you went with Devonta Smith?
Yeah, or no, I'd rather go Javonte Williams. I think he's
really? Okay.
Play. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Devonta Smith right now. Like, I don't have any confidence throwing him into my lineup at this moment. They just don't throw the football enough. When they are throwing the football, it's a little bit spaced out between trying to make sure that AJ gets his touches, Devonta gets some touches and things like that. Like, it feels like Devonta's ceiling is very capped at this moment in time, and his floor is lower than we want it to be. So I'm not super confident in playing Devonta Smith. I know Javonte Williams is going to get a workload. I know, in a half point per first down, I know he's going to get me a couple of those, this game. I know he's going to get a couple of catches. I know he's going to probably get the goal line work if, they have a couple of those opportunities. So when it comes to safety, safe floor, and probably a higher ceiling play, it's Javonte Williams for me this week, even if it's a bad defense against Green Bay. I say bad, but like a bad matchup for Javonte, not a bad defense.
Yeah, and that was the direction I was leaning as well. Part of it is I do think we could see maybe a shootout at the end of this game. We've seen Tampa Bay win 3 straight games on go-ahead touchdowns in the fourth quarter. So, or not touchdowns, but go-ahead victories in the fourth quarter. So this game does have potential for some fireworks at the end, and so that's why Devonta Smith is still interesting. But I think Javonte Williams still offers similar upside with a safer floor. I don't love the Green Bay matchup at all, but the first downs is really, really nice there. So I will go with Javonte Williams as well.
Yeah, I hope they get a shootout because I'm forced to play Devonta Smith in a couple of places. So hopefully it's a shootout.
Well, like Devonta Smith will never be a high-end fantasy football piece ever, right?
Not while AJ Brown's there.
Probably not while AJ Brown's there, and probably not while the offense looks the way it does with Jalen Hurts passing the football the least amount of times that he really is every week.
It looked like it could start to turn, and then they got Saquon. And you're like, well, there that goes.
Well, and then it feels like, I don't know, when I watch them, and maybe this is just more like watching couch analysis than it is really anything with numbers and metrics, but when I watch this team, it's like they don't want to throw the ball unless they have to. They would rather sit there and grind the clock out and run the ball and keep these, low ADOT plays and just keep it churning. And then it's like, okay, we got in a little bit of trouble. We saw this last week where it was like, we got in a little bit of trouble. Let's start passing the football a little bit here in the fourth quarter and see what happens.
Brown's alive.
And it's like, I don't think they want to throw the ball unless they have to. And quite honestly, they probably don't have to in a lot of matchups that they play in.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. Jesse, start 3, half PPR. Rome, London, Sutton, Pickens.
Rome.
I'm so happy, by the way, we're here with Rome Odunze because I've been touting this breakout all summer, and I'm just so happy to see it happening right now in front of my eyes. I'm going to go London. I'm going to go Rome. And then it's between Sutton and Pickens for me. I do have Sutton higher in my rankings. We talked about that Green Bay matchup being a little bit tougher. They have been 4th best against wide receivers so far to start the year. With no Lamb, he's going to get a little bit of some tighter coverage. Just give me Cortland Sutton against the Cincinnati Bengals, and he should be able to light them up a little bit.
Yeah, I have the same notes. Obviously, George Pickens is slightly more appealing with CeeDee Lamb out. So that you do think that he would get a lot of targets, but I have them 2 spots apart. I have Cortland Sutton at 17, George Pickens at 19. And for a minute, I looked like an idiot last night, but the guy in between them, I have Marvin Harrison at 18 this week. I know consensus had him a lot lower than 18, but I was like, man, I feel like this guy's got to wake up. And then at the beginning of the game, I was like, I'm an idiot. He's just broken. But better days were ahead, and he actually.
What if I told you I had him at 24 going into last night?
I mean, look, yeah. I think that's higher than what consensus was. I think he was around like 28 or so. So
yeah,
it was ugly.
It was weird. I had him and BTJ sitting there at 23 and 24, and I'm like, man, this is where we're at, huh?
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts a little bit.
So Andrew, really fast. I kind of talked to Garrett about this. I have someone who wants to trade for Quinshon Judkins, right? I'm not taking over this whole segment, whatever, but I'm also getting some advice. Would you trade Brian Thomas straight up for Judkins?
12-team Dynasty, I'm assuming?
Yeah, and I'm a rebuilding team, and I have Judkins.
Yeah, I would take BTJ.
Okay, cool. If you're watching this, don't hear that. I still want at least 1 second on top.
Did you say the same thing, Garrett? Did you say you would take Brian Thomas?
I don't even know if I gave Pete a straight answer, honestly.
You said you want 2 seconds on top of Thomas.
I said, yeah, that's what I would ask for.
Just trying to capitalize on like the bad play.
Yeah, the bad.
Okay,
juju.
yeah, I don't mind that at all. But I think if like you forced me right now in a bubble to
in a startup draft,
I have to pick one of them. I'm still taking BTJ over Judkins.
I think the hard part is I have not been a big Brian Thomas guy, so that's where I'm like trying to balance my I've been a huge Quinton Johnson or Quinshon Judkins guy.
Freudian slip.
Yeah, I know, right? Huge Quinton. Dude, I keep doing it. Quinshon Judkins guy. My goodness. And not a big Brian Thomas guy. But I do think like if I was forced to, because look, right now, the news is all positive about Judkins and the news is all negative about Brian Thomas Jr. And so like it is a good time to capitalize, but man, it would be so hard. It would break my heart to do it.
Pete, if you're curious, we just did a Dynasty startup mock draft on my channel with some of our Discord members.
Okay.
BTJ went at the 3-1. Quinshon Judkins went at the 4-11. So about 1 round difference between the two.
Wow.
Almost 2
It's like 1.5 almost round difference between the two still in the startup draft that we did.
Okay. Sweet. Good stuff. You don't have to pay me for today, Garrett. I got all of the advice I needed.
All the advice you need, yeah.
Yeah. So Adam Sandy, I think this is a burner count for Sandler. I drafted Dart at the 202 in a rookie draft.
Money,
should I entertain,
by the way. Money.
Should I entertain a 26 or 27 first round plus vet guys for him? What's draft ceiling and floor?
So for me in these types of situations, I am never opposed to taking a solid profit. I'm never opposed to it. For me right now, it depends on one, is it 26 or 27? I would prefer the 27, especially if I'm in rebuild, over 26. Then what is the vet piece? Because that can vary a ton as to like what I'm getting here. Am I getting Chris Olave as the vet piece thrown in? Well, then that's huge. Is the vet piece I'm getting thrown in Stephon Diggs? That doesn't move the needle like at all for me. So I guess it depends on what, but yes, I'm always open to taking a profit. Always open, especially if I can take a profit before my guys even had to prove anything. Always open to it. However, you drafted him. Why not see what you have? So I'm not opposed to taking a profit. I would prefer to see what I had, though.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a Dart believer. So I definitely think that the kid is talented. I think he has a good opportunity here. I think they're throwing him into a very tough part of their schedule, though. So it could be an ugly couple of games to start off the career. So the narrative might get a little crazy with him.
New Orleans is next week, fortunately. They got the Chargers and the New Orleans.
Right. And he's got some Eagles matchups and stuff like it's gonna be a little bit strugglesome for probably a month. He might have a flash game against New Orleans, but I'm definitely a fan of the kid. I had them Jackson Dart ranked as a top 9 pick in Superflex drafts when it came to April drafts right after the NFL draft. So, getting him at year 202, that's why I say money, because I had him as a, late first round guy. So if I'm looking at this, I'm absolutely okay with taking it. If you're not a Dart believer, I would do a 27 first over the 26 as well. The veteran guy, I agree with you. Like if it's Diggs or if it's something like Debo or something, I'm not super interested in those. If it's a little bit of a better player, then yes. But I have quite a few Dart shares, and I'll just tell you right now, I'm sitting on them. I want to see what happens.
And to be honest, if his name was anything else other than Jackson Dart, I would probably be trading him away. But he just has an elite quarterback name.
Well, look, also, he's got some, what do the kids call it these days, Pete? It's aura. Yeah, he's got aura, man. You see the TikTok memes, or not the memes, the edits that he has going on. I think the kid has it, man. He has the TikTok aura.
Dude, yeah, he genuinely does. Did you hear about the whole, he used Eli Manning's number not to, get coached up, but to, have him get dinner reservations?
Get a, rare reservation in New York or whatever.
Oh, my God.
You know that Dart grew up and played in Kaysville, and I literally lived, the next town over from Kaysville for a while. So he grew up and went to high school right where I was going to college.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah. One of my best friends, it's my best friend. He went to the rival high school of Jackson Dart, played against Jackson Dart, said that Jackson Dart cooked them in high school, absolutely nuked them.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
I want to hear
kids have to play Jackson Dart.
I want to hear just this one story of oh yeah, I played this NFL player and he sucked in high school.
Okay. All right. You want to hear a story?
Yes.
Real quick?
Yes.
All right. Now it's not quite that bad. It's not quite that bad. But my buddy is he played college baseball. And so but he played in tons of tournaments in high school and stuff against some guys that were legit. And he's like, somebody that I played that I would have never guessed that he would be an MLB superstar. And I was like, who? He was like, granted, he's like, I only played a couple games, and baseball can be weird. You can have much more cold days than you do NFL or NBA and things like that. But he's like, Aaron Judge was not that impressive.
Ooh. I mean, he took a long time to
in the minors, to get up. Yeah.
But
this is rookie year.
Wow, that's crazy
24?
though.
Yeah.
Huh?
He was I think he was 24 his rookie year or something.
I thought he was 25, 26.
Maybe. I knew he was an older rookie. But yeah, when I heard that, I was like, and this was even probably 7-8 years ago before he's even gotten better and better. So very interesting. Also, real quick plug. If you're not checking out all of our YouTube content, you absolutely should, because two of the names that we've talked about so far are guys that we talked about in our buy this guy before the season starts, Jackson Dart and Romo Dunze. If you capitalized on either one of those guys before the season, their value has skyrocketed since the beginning of the season. So hopefully you guys were out there contributing to that.
100%. Side note, that one god Aries, shout out. I traded Chase Brown for Quentin Johnston. The moment is finally here. Crazy trade.
It's an awesome trade.
Yeah,
That's
awesome
incredible.
Yeah,
I'm sure you probably
what
got some,
side
like,
of this trade are you taking, Garrett?
Quentin Johnston, easy.
Really?
Or no, wait. I'm sorry. I'm still doing it. I'm thinking Quinshon Judkins.
Yes,
I keep
not.
making this Quinshon. If this was Quinshon, I'd be thrilled. Quentin Johnston.
Could it be Quinshon?
We have not talked about Quinshon as QJ. QJ is Q.
That's
We know
true.
who QJ is.
It is.
Okay.
It is. My mind, I only want to talk about Quinshon Judkins. I don't know why my brain can't do this today. My brain is really struggling with this.
I don't know, but I would take the Chase Brown side still. I guess where are we at? Where are we at here with Quentin Johnston? Because this is where I'm having my internal struggle with him as well. Because I'm like, look, this is an offense that is throwing the football way more than we had imagined they were going to throw it to start the year. It is spread around between multiple options. It even looks like Aronde Gadsden is now going to start getting involved in this passing game a little bit more. And they lose Najee Harris. Like, what is going to happen here? Is it like just boom bust? Everybody has the ability to break 1 week, and then the other guys can be a little bit.
That's what it looks like right now,
and
it's crazy.
Are we in on QJ to be like a consistent, solidified option?
I don't want to
be.
I don't want to be. It feels gross, but right now it's hard not to be.
Okay, so I saw this. I'm gonna steal this because Fantasy Life did this the other day. So credit to Fantasy Life, but I'm gonna steal this. Garrett, you have to rank, not fantasy rank of like wide receiver 25, whatever. Just rank me the wide receivers for the Chargers right now, 1 through 4. You can throw in Trey Harris if you want to.
For fantasy football, or just rank them like
for Dynasty fantasy football moving forward, you have to have those guys in that order.
Okay.
I guess do it for Dynasty and do it for this year, like so we can see the difference between the rankings.
Okay. This year, Ladd, for this year, Ladd, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston. Long term, Ladd, Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen.
I have it the same way. I think it would be Ladd, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston this year, and then I think long term, maybe I'm just a Trey Harris believer and I don't want to be anymore, but I think I still am. But I think I'm going with Ladd. And then it's a toss-up for me between QJ and Trey. I don't think Keenan's going to be around too long.
I didn't even think to like put him in there. I thought we were just ranking those 3 guys. So to be fair, long term, if I was in a rebuild and somebody was asking me like who would I rather have, I'd rather have Trey Harris, obviously, than Keenan Allen.
Doing his best Jonathan Mingo like 1-up.
Oh man, what a mess. Just give me a Ronde Gadsden. That's all I want.
I just picked him up.
Michael.
He was on waivers.
Hi, Michael.
That's crazy.
I have Rome Odunze and someone just offered Drake London for him. Thoughts?
This feels like it should be like, yeah, smash accept. But my heart's like, wait, hold on, chill out, bro.
I think Rome is legitimately here as the number 1 wide receiver in this offense. And I don't think the first 3 weeks is like a flash in the pan that's going to disappear. I truly believe it's going to happen.
Who was a higher nerd score for you, Garrett?
Romo Dunze was the higher nerd score for me.
Okay.
London had a solid score. I mean, he didn't have a bad score, but Romo Dunze, I think, is in my top like 6 or 7 all-time nerd scores. I think I'm
crazy.
Then
I think I'm going Rome.
I kind of want to lean Rome as well, honestly.
I think part of it is like at this point, I think I like the offense better.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the quarterback play and I like the offensive tempo more for Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. And I
have to adjust my rankings now.
Yeah, this is crazy. I think I'm leaning Rome as well, though, for this question.
You know what they say, Rome was built in a day, and today is Rome's day. So
there we go.
Well, I also heard you could take a flight from Rome to London I don't know where I was gonna go with that, but I was trying to take it somewhere.
I've done that in Euro Truck Simulator. I don't know if you guys know what that game is. but-
Euro Truck Simulator.
No idea.
Yeah, it's literally
Pete, you're the most interesting person I know.
you're literally drive a semi truck across Europe, and it's
But it's a simulator.
yeah, and it takes like 3 hours to like an hour and a half to do
Like
that
to
trip.
actually drive your truck.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
wait,
like
you
making the
Me and
drive
my
in real
friends
life?
used to race semis across Europe, man.
so you would sit at your computer and and drive pretend 18 wheelers.
And then I would get
Is that
pretend money.
comparable to like the real life time it would take you to drive from there to there at
No.
that speed limit?
Were you
no,
allowed
it's
to
not
play
1-to-1
Halo?
scale. Huh?
Were you not allowed to play Halo?
No, man.
Do you get a
That
currency for
explains-
doing your job in
that
the game, or
explains
you
it.
do it
Yeah,
just voluntarily?
No, and yeah, you build up your semi truck empire. It's
Okay.
actually one of the most played games on Steam.
I'll be honest, my wife plays games like that. She
Yep.
likes the what is it, farm simulator or whatever. You have your own farm and you like
Yep.
yeah, she does that. I don't know. It is what it is. I ain't gonna knock it.
Scratches that itch.
Yeah.
oh,
She also plays this like power washing game where she just like power washes houses in a game.
Power Wash Simulator. Yes.
Yeah, and
that
I'm
is
like,
another good game.
Dude, she's like, it's just it gets your mind off of things. I was like, okay, dude, go power wash some homes out here and make us
I
some
was
extra
gonna
money
say,
if you want
go
to.
buy a power washer. Like, make that
No,
bread. Why
there
are
are
you doing
some
it for
people
free?
that I know that is just like you could literally just do what you're doing in real life.
I'm pulling this up
He's
before we
homeschooled,
get
what
to
do
the
you-
next question.
So, okay, I let it be known I did grow up on a cattle ranch, and so I didn't need no farming simulator. I was there.
Yeah,
I was
you
pulling
lived it.
weeds and
You lived it.
crying over the
Yeah,
cows. that
Andrew.
got water.
Andrew. Sometime when we have a little bit more time, you just need to sit down and let Pete tell you stories about his
Fair.
life.
Look,
He's fascinating.
my I don't really want to derail us that far, so I'll keep this one quick and short. But my dad and my grandfather, they grew up like rural farm country. Like that's kind of like how they grew up. Little place called Vernal, Utah, if you guys have ever heard about it. But
Heard
my
of Utah?
grandpa, he always would take us out in the summer. We'd go visit my dad in the summers, and he'd take us out onto the farm and want us to go out there. Literally the worst experiences of my life. Just hated the farm life. I was a city boy through and through, growing up in Las Vegas. Like, you got us out there and there's grasshoppers and stuff jumping around, and me and my brothers are like, this is the worst thing ever. Cow poop on the ground, running through the grass. Like, it was so bad. And we probably, now that I'm older, I'm like, we were such pansies out there in the fields, like trying not to get dirty. And it's like, yeah, that's just the city boy in us.
Here it is. Robert.
Hey, Robert. always, I love your comments, Robert. Robbie.
Where are we at here right now? What are we doing?
I have no idea.
I think we're about to start a power washing business, right?
I think so.
Something.
You can make that money.
A farm.
if you-
Ask
the
your wife
Dynasty
if she's
Nerds
free.
farm.
How much
wants-
money, Garrett, would you need to be paid to fly out, let's say 3-hour flight, to power wash someone's house? How much money?
Am I also paying for the flight?
No, the flight's paid for.
Okay. How much would I need to be paid?
If you want to hire Garrett to power wash your house, this is how much money you need to pay.
Is that round trip? 3
Yeah.
hours, or is it 3 hours each way?
No, 3 hours both ways.
Okay. And I get flown out. Is it to like a cool place where I could do other stuff when I'm done?
You don't
Or
know.
is it like,
You don't know.
oh, it's just random?
Yeah.
I would need to be paid.
Like Robert pays you X amount of money.
See, here's the part that gets hard now is like I could end up with some pretty creepy situations. And some
Yeah,
pretty
that's what I'm saying. Robert.
locations.
This probably sounds low. 3 hour flight. I'm $2,000. Give me $2,000. I'll be there. I'll power wash your house for $2,000.
I was gonna say it's definitely in the thousands. I'm just trying to figure out how many thousands.
Okay, so if
Yeah.
you want to, so we can
If
start.
it's a 1 day round trip,
Yeah,
yeah, I think
about 3 hours work.
Two seems about right.
3 hours of work as well. So it's a 3 hour
Yeah.
flight, 3 hours of work, and then a 3 hour flight back. That's a 9 hour day.
Yes. Yeah.
All
Yeah, I'll
right.
make 2K in a day. I'll put it
Okay,
all on
yeah.
XRP.
Email
And, make some
200
cryptocurrency.
to $250 an hour is where you can hire me at for that
Yeah.
power washing.
Yeah.
email Peter at Dynasty Nerds to set up your personal power washing appointment.
I'd rather just like go meet at a bar and talk about fantasy football though, for what it's worth. I don't have grandeur.
It'll still be $200 to $250 an hour.
Right. No, you're still paying the same amount. I would just rather eat and talk fantasy football than power wash your house, for what it's worth.
Man, this is off the rails today, and I love it. DJ Cold Cuts, half point PPR, 0.25 points per carry, trying to decide between Scatabo and Johnston.
Oh, it's Scataboo. It's the boo.
Yeah, the points
100%.
per carry is a little bit extra for me there. That's probably what I'm doing. Also, he was getting a lot of work in that receiving game.
A lot of work. A lot. Six
Let's
receptions.
be honest. He's a fantastic player to put in your fantasy lineups and just watch play.
Yes, he's so much fun to watch.
Dude, the celebrations, like this guy hit 4 celebrations and a backflip in the end zone.
It was like, bro, I'm getting them all in right now.
He's one of these players that I would say I would put money on like 5 to 10 years down the road. Like just very iconic, like Marshawn Lynch type. Like, I don't know. He's probably not going to be as good, but it's going to be like, oh man,
it would be
remember
tough.
Cam's
It was
Scattergood.
like Joe Buck kept saying, like, he's like, watch Cam Scattergood. Every time he like steps up behind the line of scrimmage, he's shaking his head, talking to himself. He gets hit, he's talking to himself. Like, it's just like Cam is crazy.
Somebody put out like there's only 2 types of white running backs: cerebral ones like Christian McCaffrey, and absolute cran eaters like Cam Scattergood.
And he
And I love
certainly is the crayon eater.
Dude, like you were talking about the aura, the vibes around Jackson Dart. How about the vibes here? All of New York right now, the vibes just totally shifted.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. I'm going to watch them play here
really?
in a couple 2 months. The Vikings come to MetLife, and I'm going to watch the
Nice.
Vikings Giants.
Nice. You'll be there rooting for
Okay.
the bike, but like when Cam does something good, you'll secretly be like, yeah.
Yeah, and all my dynasty shares of
Nice.
Jackson Dart, I'll give him a little bit of
Yeah,
a fist
give him
bump
a little
there, but
nod.
I need JJ McCarthy to scorch earth this whole thing.
There you go.
Okay, Keith, Hawkinson or Hunter Henry?
Oh man. So Hunter Henry was actually, he cracked my top 12 when we were doing our top 12s to begin the year. I was like, Hunter Henry is just that solid, steady guy for this offense. Doesn't mean he's always going to necessarily have like great games, but he's always there, always available. They go up against Carolina this week. I know Carolina's played okay, but I still don't really believe in that offense. TJ Hawkinson has Pittsburgh. I think that could be a bigger wake-up call, and it's overseas. Those are always just weird games. I think I'm going with Hunter Henry this week.
I have Hunter Henry as well, and Vikings overseas games scare me because we've had injuries overseas every time that they go over there. So I'm not wishing that on anybody, but at least JJ McCarthy is not playing.
Yeah.
But our other JJ, he's playing.
Okay, Destroyer.
Flowers.
Yep. Easy peasy.
Yeah, not even
By a
close.
lot.
Need some upside, says Adam. Don't we all? Would you play Hurts and Brown stack or Justin Herbert?
So basically, it's Hurts or Herbert. Just he wants us to know that he has AJ Brown as well.
And I'm assuming he's projected to lose. So he needs that boom.
I would play Hurts.
I would as well. I'd be going. I actually have Hurts higher in my rankings already. And like I mentioned, that Tampa Bay game, there could be some points that get put up at the end of the game. That could be some fun, kind of wild finish. The Chargers have the New York Giants. The Giants have a pretty good defensive line. They're going to be getting after Justin Herbert in this game. And I do anticipate, though, by the end of the game, the Chargers are up fairly comfortably. So I think we're getting a lot of Omari and Hampton by the end of the game.
Yep, that's kind of what I would be projecting as well. It's like if Herbert's going to score points, he's going to have to do it in the first half, because by the second half, I wouldn't be surprised if first start, good defense there for the Chargers. Jackson Dart's struggling a little bit, and they're not able to move the football that much. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think Hurts is the better play, though. Rushing upside, rushing touchdowns, things like that. And then obviously if he throws any to AJ, you're basically in double points. So I fully down for that.
Awesome. Okay. America Mike. London or Jamar Chase?
Man, I have Chase higher at the moment, but man, I'm really struggling with it. Chase is just so good, just so freaking good, but he's got to go up against Denver and Pat Surtain. What do you have?
Back to back in my rankings, I got London higher because of the matchup. Look, London plays the Washington Commanders. So far through the beginning of the year, they are 25th against the wide receiver position, giving up 32 fantasy points per game. Little bit of a chance here potentially for Michael Penix to kind of get it back on track against a somewhat softer defense. I think Jamar Chase with Jake Browning and Pat Surtain and this top 7 matchup, it's going to be so tough for them to kind of get back on track again. It's a tough stretch. I'll be real. I'm very nervous about basically all Cincinnati Bengals options. Jamar Chase is the one I'm the least worried about. But even then, like, I think we're more so talking about Chase on a weekly basis of like, should you start Chase or should you start Rome? Should you start Chase or should you start a guy like London? Should you start Chase or Devontae Adams? Like, I think that's kind of going to be the range that we're in with him moving forward.
All right, so I moved him. I have him at wide receiver 10 now. I have Drake London at 9. I will say though, America, if this is your start sit, you've got a really freaking good team because most people don't have the option to not play Jamar Chase.
Yeah, like most people are playing both of these guys and they're saying, am I starting Ricky Pearsall or Jacoby Myers?
Right, exactly. So he must have Amon-Ra or Jackson Smith and Jigba or something like that already to be able to do that, and then just like a baller running back core that they're
Chris
using
Rodriguez
like for the flex.
Let me ask you this, because it's going to be a dynasty discussion, but with Jamar Chase right now, knowing that Joe Burrow probably is not going to be playing at all for the remainder of the year, I just don't assume he's going to be back into the lineup. I don't think they're going to be competitive enough that he's going to be thrown back into game action for the last 3 regular season games of their season. Are you potentially looking at moving a Jamar Chase? If you're a contending roster, are you moving him for a, JSN? Are you moving him for a Rome to down tier, get something pocketed, but you're probably still going to get a player who's going to outproduce him this year?
It depends on what the plus is. I wouldn't be willing. There's nobody right now that I would be willing to straight up trade Jamar Chase for unless their name is maybe either Justin Jefferson or Puka Nacua.
Not Neighbors?
I would do Neighbors as well. Yes, I would do Neighbors as well. I'm trying to think of anybody else. I think those are the only people I would do straight up.
So you wouldn't trade for Amon-Ra if you were a contender, like straight up?
You want like a late first thrown in with Amon-Ra, huh?
It's just so hard to give up somebody the caliber of Jamar Chase long term and just say like, I know I'm, getting better this year, but every other year after that, I'm downgrading.
Okay, so I'm gonna push back on you just a little bit here because I want to.
All right, do it.
I want to see. What about Amon-Ra St. Brown makes it to where we don't feel like he's that caliber of a wide receiver? He's been a top 5 PPR wide receiver for years now. He's still doing it with Ben Johnson out at the door. Still looks like he's going to be a highly valued piece in Dynasty moving forward. He's just as young as Jamar Chase. Like, what are we pausing about Amon-Ra for moving forward?
I think I am a little worried long term that the targets are not going to be as bountiful for Amon-Ra that they're going to be for some of these other receivers. I think that's the thing that's concerning me. It's not him as a player. It's not the offense. It's none of that. Is he going to get the 160 to 170 type target seasons? Because last year we saw him at what? It was like 130 or 140 something. Now, he still finished the top 3 guy because he was uber efficient. But even this year so far, 6 targets, 11. You feel great about that. And then 8. Now, he's been crazy efficient. He was 7 of 8. He was 9 of 11. So, I mean, he's been really, really efficient. But I think that's the thing that worries me a little bit is if that efficiency drops at all, are we going to just have a really solid wide receiver 1, but not somebody that's a game changer? And maybe I'm being too picky, but I feel like when I'm at this level, I have to be as picky as I can.
That makes sense. So are you potentially tearing down off of Amon-Ra with this fast start of a couple touchdowns?
If I talked about this, we did a tear down video where I was like tearing down from Malik Neighbors to JSN, and so far that looks very solid because you get the plus on top. I mentioned I wanted to do it Amon-Ra, but I don't know how much of a tear down that is. If I could just make a lateral move to JSN, I think I would rather do that.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I would be there. I don't think at this time.
Okay.
I love JSN. I think everything we've seen has been great, but I just am very high, I think, on Amon-Ra still.
Okay. Jesse, with the first super chat out of the day. Reminder, if you do a super chat, you get put to the front of the line. Trade Javonte Williams, Monty, and Rice for Robinson and Golden.
Yep. All day, twice on Sunday. 100%. Look, and this is coming from one of, if not the biggest Javonte Williams fan. I love Javonte, and I'm a big Rice guy as well. He's somebody that I've, really looked at acquiring while he had his suspension and in the offseason and things like that, because we saw, yes, it was a limited time span, but at the end of his rookie campaign in the beginning of year 2, he was absolutely eating with Pat Mahomes. So I like both of those players a lot, but it is not every day that you can go after a Bijan. Now, I was saying that I am now reading that this is a redraft, not Dynasty. So that does change it slightly because I was all in. And then I was like, oh, this is a redraft.
Yeah, I was looking at it and I was like, wow, he's way more confident in that than I am.
Yeah. Now I'm seeing it's redraft. I only got the beginning part. I would still do it though. I would still do it. Monty is a nice piece that you can throw in now and then, but he's not as safe as he once was because it is more the Jahmyr Gibbs show, and I think Monty is now the clear 2, as opposed to being a true split. And I love Javonte, but we still don't know short term how things go with Rice as he's coming back from all of this. So I'll go Bijan and Golden, but it's a lot closer than when I was thinking this was Dynasty.
Yeah, I still lean the Bijan side too. 14 team makes me a little bit nervous because I always want to make sure that you don't lose too much depth. But I'm looking at your wide receiver room, and you got Jettas, Sutton, Egbuka, Tillman. Like, you should be fine, losing Rice. And then you have Achane, Benson, and then what would be Bijan. So I definitely like that. I like Woody Marks too sitting there. I think he's, taking a little bit more of the workload as well. Should be fine. I think what this is going to do for you, though, is probably going to leave you wanting to grab probably one more wide receiver. Do you kind of feel the same way, Garrett? Do you feel like Jettas, Sutton, Egbuka is nice, but then after that, there's a pretty significant drop-off in a redraft format to like the Golden, the Tillman, the Booty?
Yeah, that is where it gets a little bit tricky. Those are all good upside plays that could catch fire at some point this season, and you might feel better about putting them in your lineup if they do that. But you're lacking a little bit of safety then there. So yeah, I would not be opposed to going out and getting somebody that might not be sexy, but I feel safe that they can get me like 10 points each week. That would be like somebody that I'd be looking for.
A Jacoby or a Khalil Shakir or something like that.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. On to the next. James, Waddle, Tucker.
Pittman. Yeah, Michael Pittman would be who I'd want.
Okay. Waddle, Tucker, Jamo. Who's that?
Jameson Williams.
Okay, there we go. Jennings or Addison at flex.
A lot of options. Wow.
Are we sure JMO is Jameson Williams? Because that does not make sense.
Yeah, I read it as Jameson Williams, JMO.
I've heard other people call him that before.
Yeah, I usually see it spelled like Jamo, like Jameson.
Oh, okay. I have seen that. Okay.
This one's decently close. Jameson's interesting because he can always just break a big play. So I would say if I was projected to lose and I needed some upside, it would be JMO for me. But if not, man, yeah, it might just be him either way.
JMO's my pick.
It might just be him either way. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the highest in my rankings. I don't love the Cleveland matchup because that secondary has been pretty solid. But I do think he has the ability to break off a big play and get into the end zone. And I like that. I'm more confident in him doing that right away than I am a Jennings or a Tucker or a Waddle. Addison would be like my second choice, but even though I'm confident throwing him in my flex right out the gate, I just don't think he has the big play potential immediately that JMO probably possesses right now.
Yeah. All right. We've gotten way behind in the
It's
chat.
the witching hour.
It is. This is the witching hour.
Rapid fire.
Questions become answers and answers become
Questions.
more answers. So here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna spend much time elaborating. We're just gonna give like our quick, we could check our rankings or whatever, but like our quick answer and move on because I want to try to get to as many of these as we can. We've got like 10 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Metcalf.
Right.
Metcalf for me.
Yep. Metcalf
for me as well. Yep.
I just can't trust the Titans offense at the moment.
Jason says Bill, Ellick, or Godwin.
Wow. I'm not confident throwing Godwin into the lineup immediately, but I think if he plays, I'm more confident than those options. So I think he would be the guy if he plays, but I'm not confident in any of these guys right at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not super confident either. I think at this point, I'm probably just going for upside, and I'll go for Ellick, but I don't love it. I still have him I have him around 50 in my rankings.
Okay, CJ Stroud or Jake Browning?
I like CJ more.
Yeah, I can't put Browning into my lineup at the moment.
Collapsed last week, and that's a tough defense, like we said with Pat Surtain.
Adam, T. Worthy or Henderson?
Man, I really want this answer to be Henderson. So
It is Henderson. That is the answer.
Perfect.
You cannot play T at this moment in time with Jake Browning playing the way he is, and Xavier Worthy, I can't really trust him off the shoulder. So Henderson, I'm gonna throw you in the lineup. Hopefully those fumbles from Stevenson give you a little bit more playtime.
Absolutely. Carolina defense shouldn't be that good. I know they've played really well. I think they come back to earth though.
They've played some teams as well.
1 point tight end premium, Chubbs or Ertz?
Ertz.
Nick Chubb is garbage these days.
It's sad. It's sad. It hurts.
Best ball dynasty start 12. Drake May. Well, this is best ball.
Yeah, it's best ball.
Oh, it's trade. It's a trade question.
Oh, okay.
I was like, easiest start set answer ever. Drake May plus London and JMO, or Burrow and Chase. Ooh, that's stacked.
May, London, and JMO in a rebuild. I'm sorry, that's what I'm doing.
I mean, I'm a huge Drake May guy. I gotta stick with Burrow and Chase. If it's a rebuild, I don't need anybody to score me points right now. And I still think next year that duo is going to have more value. So even if I wanted to move on from both of them next year, I still think they're going to have more value than the trio.
You
so
think that duo has more value? Because when we did our 2027 startup drafts, I'm pretty sure we both had May. I'm pretty sure we both had May as like a top 4 guy, and Burrow was
I love Drake May.
Way down. He was like a guy that we were flirting with trying to get into the top 24.
Yeah, but that was 2027, not 2026.
You're in a rebuild next year. So if he's not going to go from number 5 to 24 in 1 year. He's going to slowly go down the board. So next year, Burrow's going to go down the board a little bit. Chase is going to go down the board just a tiny bit. But I don't know. I think I would take the May, the London, and JMO side, but that could just be very youth oriented in that pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still sticking with Chase and Burrow.
I don't blame you. I just wanted to push back.
Yeah. I hear you. And I love Drake May. That's the part that's hard.
Flex spot, Chase Brown or Devonta Smith, full PPR.
It's got to be Smith.
It's Smith.
It's sad how it's come to this, but yeah.
Yeah.
Side note, by the way, guys, really appreciate all the shows and content. As Rich might say, I'm gobbling up. Nom 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 nom.
Love it. Appreciate it.
Oh, another Aaron Judge. Too bad he's not going to win.
Judge was always him,
MVP
and the
this
first
year.
hit in minor leagues was a grand slam.
By the way, this shows you how far behind we are because that conversation was about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, it really was. Look, he might have been that in college. All I'm saying is this guy played high school tournaments against Aaron Judge, and he said he recognized how big this dude was, and he knew the name, but he's like, he didn't do anything. Like, he didn't do anything impressive when we played against him. So,
Robert says, I want to power wash you, Pete. Blitz League. Bench 2, full PPR. DJ Moore, Quinshon Judkins, Breece Hall, Pickens, Ibuka, Pollard.
That's gave me a lot to think about.
I think I'm benching DJ Moore and Tony Pollard. I'm going to play Pickens, Breece, Quinshon, and Ibuka.
That was my gut reaction as well. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Robert says another comment. And then Frizzy LL, redraft. Who's a better IR stash right now? Brendan Ayuk or Jalen Coker?
Ayuk.
Okay. Adam, Bo Nix or Justin Herbert? 6-point passing touchdown.
Herbert's actually my number 4 quarterback on the week against.
He's my number 4 as well. I would go Justin Herbert.
Yep.
Cool. Nick says selling Marvin Harrison Jr. ?
It's a bad time to sell him. Most of the community. I mean, he regained a little bit of steam with how he kind of came back in that game. But look, like if I'm trying to buy Marvin Harrison Jr., which I am, I'm willing to go out and buy him. I'm not looking to pay the price that he was in the offseason. I'm seeing if I can get him for 90 cents on the dollar.
And
he seems like the perfect hold right now.
I'm assuming you're buying in Dynasty, right?
Dynasty, correct.
Okay, yeah, because I'm selling in redraft, but I'm not selling in Dynasty. But the upcoming schedule, I put a video out on my channel this last week, and he was one of my sells for redraft right now. The upcoming schedule is pretty tough for him and Kyler. There's a lot of good defenses coming up. So maybe a good game like last night gives you enough that you can move him laterally in a redraft, but in a Dynasty, yeah, I'm holding him. I'm not selling him at the moment.
Okay. Alex, 2 flex spots to fill: Jameson Williams, Pickens, Ladd, Purcell.
I'm going Ladd and Pickens.
Man, Ladd's been tough so far. I think I'm actually gonna go with who'd you say? Ladd and
Pickens.
I think it'll be Pearsall and I like the Pearsall matchup against Jacksonville this week. Yeah, I think it'll be Pearsall and Pickens for me. So I would be sitting Ladd.
Okay, Bryce, trade Josh Allen and Ricky Pearsall for James Daniels and King
James
Henry. Hey, James Daniels, who is that?
King James, Rick James, Josh Allen.
Rick James almost came out, and there was another word that follows that almost just came
Yep.
out of my body.
I was able to stop it.
Yeah. My opinion changes drastically depending on the format. I'm going to operate as if this is Dynasty, and in Dynasty, I want Josh Allen and Ricky.
Perfect.
Oh,
Or
I
do
don't
you have-
any more, Pete? That's fine.
Yeah, you
There
don't.
it
Connor, Dynasty, half point P. No, do you have an answer? If so, say it.
Well,
A
something that he's
redraft
trying to
league, I
think.
would go the other way though. I'd go JD and
We have 3
Henry in a
minutes.
redraft.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, thanks, Garrett.
You're welcome.
Needed that.
What Andrew
That really
said.
added. Dynasty half
Look,
point PPR.
Look, you just want me to just pull crap out of my butt? Sometimes I got to think about it, okay?
Dude, we work in fantasy football. That's
Yeah,
what most
what
of
Andrew
this
That's
said.
half your job.
I like it.
Scattaboo or DJ Moore? Half point per first down.
Scat.
Scat.
Okay. Dynasty. 1 PPR tight end premium. Juan Jennings, Keon Coleman, or Jerry Jeudy?
Judy.
I will go. I'm going to go Juwan Jennings in this one.
Okay. Destroyer. Javante or Waddle for full PPR?
Javante.
I'm assuming this is just like a trade. Would you prefer having Sutton or Chris Olave?
He was my big buy this week, Chris Olave.
I would rather
Ooh.
have Sutton in a redraft, Olave in a dynasty.
I will take Olave either way. Those targets are just ridiculous.
Shout out Brawley, who is, I think, our only viewer on Twitch right now.
Hey, I
Start
didn't even know
2,
we were on
Kyron
Twitch.
Hampton and Jordan Mason.
Man, that's a good trio right now. Let me check my rankings. All right, Hampton against New York. I'm definitely starting him. Mason or Kyron. Of
I
course,
have
I'm
Hampton and
back-to-back.
Kyron as the 2 that I would play, but Mason is 1 spot behind Kyron in my rankings.
Non PPR. So standard.
Oh, he's at
neither Kyron nor Mason are big PPR guys.
I would say
I have Mason 1 spot ahead of Kyron. So I'll go.
I think in
Mason.
a standard I would go Hampton and Mason.
Okay. Would you trade Amon-Ra and Brees Hall to get Chase and Achan?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should Drew start Worthy?
Not if you can avoid it.
If you have other options, I would be looking at them. Yes.
But if you don't, then you should probably start him.
Yeah.
Chase or Ekbuka?
I still have Chase. It's close though.
I still have Chase 2 by like 1 or 2 spots.
Pickens or Ekbuka?
Igbuka
I will go
by a
Ibuka
pretty
as
decent
well.
margin.
I will go Ibuka as well.
Pick 2, Darnell Mooney, Jennings, Worthy, Sterling Shepard. Whoa.
Jennings and
That's not a
Mooney
name
for
I'm
me.
used to.
I would go Jennings and Mooney.
I would definitely go Jennings. I will. Man, that offense is just such a mess right now in Atlanta.
Still, he had like 11 targets last week.
He did. He still, yeah. I'll go. I'll go with Mooney as well.
Okay, last one. Ertz, Ingram, Strange.
Strange has been okay. He hasn't been terrible. But I think Ertz, assuming I have not heard final, but it sounds like Jane Daniels is playing, right? Yeah. If that's the case, give me Ertz.
Okay. Any closing thoughts, guys?
I think I lean Ertz as well there, but part of me is intrigued by Brenton Strange with the Diami Brown injury. But maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't be that intrigued with Trevor Lawrence playing quarterback because that just makes me want to vomit.
It is pretty ugly. But thank you guys for hanging out with us, tuning in to our live stream. We'll be here every Friday to answer those start sits, those trades. We will see you guys again next week.
See ya. Remember, power washing is $2,000 per day.